That's smashed. Give me that full flight. That's really far.
Want to get the best deal on any disc golf disc? Use my link in the description below. It'll get you 10% off on any brand at discgolfdealsusa.com.
Hey guys, Dylan here from Iceberg TV. Today we again will be talking about grip. I recently made a video where I used some tips from overthrow disc golf, and I actually found those tips to be quite helpful in regards to learning the backloaded grip a little bit better. But I realized exactly what they said in the video wasn't quite right for me. I tried to emulate Zach Nash's grip and then some of the tips that we learned in the last video that I made. But what I realized, especially with the more, not as wide discs, so the less wide discs, I definitely needed to learn to use more of a fan grip again. I was all fan grip all the time, and then I was no fan grip any of the time, and now I'm fan grip some of the time. Now, the most critical change that I made with my form, instead of having my index finger wrapped under here like this, Zach Nash puts this first knuckle of the finger in the disc just like that. So with putters, I've got like a fanned out. The rest of my hand definitely as backloaded as I can, but it's critical for me to have this index finger right here. Ever since I put the index finger in the first knuckle instead of in the second knuckle, the index pain and joint pain that I was having in this finger is completely gone. So that's step one. I'm now throwing completely pain-free. I'm also applying a little bit of thumb pressure. Otherwise, I feel like the disc with this grip is going to fall out of my hand. So 25% power thumb pressure, and then as much power as I can apply in the back half of the grip as I can. So the entire grip is actually pretty firm. And with Zach Nash having this index finger right here, that actually makes a lot of sense why he applies so much pressure. Because if you're not applying pressure, it just feels like the disc is going to fall out of your hand. The wider the disc, we have a mid-range now, the more I can curl these fingers and backload. So we've got a proxy here, which is like a 2 or a 3 speed. I've got a mid-range here. This is just wide enough for me to do all the same things I did with the putter, but now I can actually start curling these guys, these 3 fingers. And then the other thing with the distance drivers, I can really curl these 3 fingers a lot more, and then still trying to just have this first knuckle under here. So it takes a bit of playing around with, but with these slight changes, I'm getting a lot less issues with the backhand grip. So we'll throw a few shots and show you guys the results. There's definitely a learning curve, but it's feeling pretty good. What I can tell from this is that the wider the disc, the more I can curl these 3 fingers. But it's really imperative that I put this little bit of thumb pressure I mentioned before. That's going to keep the disc like in a way where I can kind of control the nose angle the way that I need to. So I can say after messing with this for 5 days, this is what has been working for me. So I thought maybe some of these tips would be helpful for some of you guys. That's kind of the gist of what we are working on here. The only other thing that has been updated over the last few rounds and throwing sessions is I'm trying really hard to anchor this left arm. Anchoring the left shoulder is something that is extremely difficult and unnatural feeling for me. And I've always been in the camp of using angular momentum from this off arm to help aid in your overall speed of the throw. What I'm finding is the longer I can wait to anchor this, the better my odds are of anchoring it in general. So maybe this is good, maybe it's not good. I'm actually curious to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. But instead of walking up and doing my approach, getting into this position, driving and throwing, I'm kind of starting my pull and then getting it down here a little bit later. I don't know if this is good or if it's not good, but for me to actually anchor with my left shoulder, that seems to be something that is almost absolutely necessary. Right, so we're getting a little more anchor there. That's still something that feels super unnatural for me, but overall, something I'm slowly becoming more comfortable with. But especially if you have a slow arm speed, you're going to need to wait as long as you can to anchor the shoulder. Because if you let this go and your arm's not fast enough to get ahead of the throw, you're losing so much power in your overall shot. It's like they always say it's a race between the throwing arm and the back shoulder. This guy needs to stop for this guy to go. So anyway, that's just sort of what we're dealing with here.
Right.
Right. As long as we can put shots onto the golf green just like that, we haven't lost a ton of distance. So it's slowly coming back. But I think my overall distance potential is getting better. Right. That's a pretty overstable D2, getting a really nice flight out of it. But these are kind of the things that I've been working on and some of the mental cues that seem to be really effective for me. That's smashed. Zero finger pain. Pretty good distance. No longer getting any early or late releases with the new grip. Starting to grow. Very cool, very consistent. And it's been a good time. We're growing a lot in this grip, swing plane, anchoring the off arm. Overall, the distance potential is going to increase over time, but we still need to build comfort in some of these new positions. That's smashed. Give me that full flight. That's really far. I think I just parked that basket, which I've never done before. We got to go up and see where that went. All right, so that's our tee box way over there. We put it all the way over the golf green and parked this basket. I don't know exactly how far it is. I think it's pushing 440, 450. I've never put a disc to this spot before. It was actually a goal of mine when I moved here to park this basket from that tee pad. So we finally achieved a huge new goal here, which is really exciting. Shout out these new waves. These things freaking bomb. So the process of me getting better at backhand, I feel like has been really beneficial for a lot of you guys who are enjoying the series. It's been some of the most popular videos on my channel for the last few months now. It's been a really enjoyable process, especially while I'm injured and cannot throw forehands. Like getting this dialed on the backhand, I think will have some really great long-term benefits with my overall level of play. And I hope a lot of the stuff that I'm learning, the things that are working for me, not working for me, and then conveying it to you guys, I hope it shortens your learning curve, gives you some nice cues to at least try and think about for yourself. If you feel like these are some things that you also need to work on, it's really hard to watch a video and then implement it with your, within yourself and know if you're doing it right or wrong. So I definitely would recommend getting involved with a disc golf coach. The coaches I really recommend online, Blitz Disc Golf, Nick Crush. And then if you're in the greater Charlotte area, South Carolina, definitely hit up Tyler Wozniak for a lesson. He was super helpful for me as well. Again, I did learn some stuff from that overthrow video I watched recently as well. So when it comes to online coaches, other than Blitz and Nick Crush, shout out to Overthrow. I think they're hit or miss for me, but some stuff, if you find is directly addressing a mistake you're making, can be very helpful. I also really love the Disc Golf Spin Doctor. So those right now are top tier coaches online and in person that I feel like you would really benefit from speaking with, booking a lesson with, or working with in person if you have the opportunity. Anyway, guys, use my link in the description below to save 10% over Disc Golf Deals USA. Stay humble, live with gratitude. I will catch you in the next one. We hit a distance PB out here today, put it under the basket, 450 feet. So I'm pretty stoked about that. That is massive improvements from before. Stay humble, live with gratitude. I'll catch you in the next one, and take care.